Fourth time is the charm. This has like been a very stressful morning. But we left off where we're talking about topic sentences and why you need them, right? Your argument is dependent on your topic sentences or your claims being really strong. They should stem directly from your thesis statement, and it should be pretty clear logically how they flow together. One of the things that you can do to test to see if your thesis statement and your topic sentences flow together is you should be able to read your thesis statement and the first sentence of every paragraph and flow and your logic makes sense. And if that doesn't work, then you need to revise. The other thing that I call this topic sentence session is, sorry guys, Brainstorm Part 2, because this is where I'm really writing down my ideas. So I typically will follow the organization of my thesis statement in writing my topic sentences or my claims, and that's kind of the pattern that I follow here. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to prove that Shakespeare that Shakespeare believes that both action and inaction demonstrate allegiance. And I really want to do that using characters other than Banquo, because I want to establish that this is a theme that's present in the text, even if I remove Banquo. You don't necessarily have to do that, but that's something that I want to try to do. The second paragraph is...
What's Banquo?
Banquo, he's a character in Macbeth.
What?
He's kind of the best friend. He's like...
What's Banquo?
Banquo? He's a person.
No. What does Banquo do?
He's a fighter. He's a warrior. Cool, huh?
Is he a fighter?
Yeah.
What's he a fighter with?
A sword. So my second topic is Banquo's inaction often comes from his sense of loyalty. Notice that I put that this might be two paragraphs, one focusing on his loyalty to Duncan and one focusing on his loyalty to Macbeth, because those are two different types of loyalty. The first is loyalty to a king. The second is loyalty to a best friend that then translates and becomes loyalty to a king. That, now that I'm thinking about it, might...
Look, Mommy. A moth.
A moth?
That means Luna Girl.
Oh, not Luna Girl.
Today, she took my drink.
She took my drink?
Yeah.
Oh, no. We'll have to stop her. That might even be 3 paragraphs, if I'm thinking about it now, and that could change things. This is not a 5-paragraph essay. What's wrong?
I hurt my finger.
I'm sorry. Let me kiss it.
Look.
Oh, no. I'm sorry, kid. Might be 3 paragraphs because I might have to focus on those things. This is not a 5-paragraph essay. This is an essay that proves your thesis statement. I don't really care how many paragraphs it ends up being, as long as it's 2 to 3 pages, of course. The third thing that I'm proving is that inaction leads to Macbeth's rise. So an idea that I had was the way that Banquo treats the witches and their prediction as kind of a joke, and then Macbeth doesn't. And it's very clear kind of the way those two are encountering the witches. Fourth is knowing or at least assuming Macbeth's wrongs, but doing nothing about them. There were several times in the text where we felt like Banquo was really close to kind of figuring things out, but it seems like he kind of sticks his head in the sand and avoids knowing those things. The fifth thing I want to talk about is too little, too late. The idea that in ghost form, Banquo tells Macbeth that his, what does he say? He says something like the bad things that he's done will catch up with him, right? The people he's murdered will come back to haunt him. And I feel like that is too little too late, right? His action as a ghost doesn't change the outcomes for all of the people who died. The last thing that I have on here is how his inaction allows for Macbeth's cruelty. This is something that ideally I want to embed throughout my entire essay. Every time that I'm proving something with my analysis, not only am I tying it back to the topic sentence, I'm also tying back to my overall thesis statement. So it's really important to prove that throughout, because that's what I said I was going to do. So now that I have this brainstorm done, I want to take these sentences or ideas really and make them into academic sentences.